disturbs the shit out of me is that after I got better, CNN, MSNBC, all these mainstream news things are mocking me for taking horse medication. They're saying he took horse medication. He took horse dewormer. Like literally taking a drug that's on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines. Literally taking a drug that's been prescribed billions of times. Taking a drug that was invented by the guy who won the Nobel Prize for inventing that drug. It has one of the best safety profiles of any known drug, but it's generic and it's cheap. It was real cheap. And I didn't just take that. I listed a bunch of other things I took. Z-Pack, monoclonal antibodies. I had IV vitamin infusions multiple days in a row. I got better quick. Nobody cared that I got better quick. All they cared was I didn't get vaccinated. What's the best way to shame him? Let's point to this one thing that he took and mock this person for taking this foolish medication. They even changed the color of my face on CNN. I put a video up of me saying that I had to cancel shows. Dave Chappelle and I had a big concert coming up that weekend, and I said we have to postpone it because I have COVID. But in the video, I was like, I feel fine. I had COVID 3 days ago. I had one bad day. The second day I felt pretty good. Today I feel great. And all they wanted to talk about, like constantly, every hour, was me taking horse dewormer. It was in Rolling Stone. It was in all these things. Rolling Stone had an article. Gunshot victims are waiting in line to get to the hospital because so many people are overdosing from horse dewormer. 100% horseshit. Printed in the Rolling Stone. Not only that, but they used an image. This is Oklahoma. They used an image. This is supposedly in the summer that this was happening. They used an image of a bunch of people waiting in line wearing winter coats. Because that wasn't from that. That was from I believe they were waiting in line to get vaccinated for the flu. It was another stock photograph that they used of people waiting in line at the hospital. It had nothing to do with horse dewormer. This was tweeted by Rachel Maddow. This was tweeted by many online prominent influencers and journalists. Like, look at these fools taking this horse dewormer. And it wasn't until I read Robert Kennedy's book, The Real Anthony Fauci, that I got a sense that this is a playbook that they have used forever. They offer one solution. This one solution is patented. This one solution is controlled by these pharmaceutical companies, and it's very expensive, and they make a fuckload of money from it. Whereas anything that's off-label, anything that's generic, is dismissed. They rig the tests to make it look like like they'll give you far more in like what they did with hydroxychloroquine. I mean, I don't even want to go into this. You could read it in the book, but my whole journey on this is like, first of all, how did I find myself in this, right? I'm a comedian and a cage fighting commentator. How am I having these, how am I on CNN all the time? And all they're doing is mocking a medication that I took very deceptively. No, out and out lying. Not just deceptively, just out and out lying, saying that I took veterinary medicine. It was so strange. It was so strange to be in the center of that. And also to be someone who got over it very quickly, where there was no discussion. There was no like, hey, Joe Rogan got over this really quickly. What is he doing differently than most people that had COVID and had terrible outcomes? There was none of that. There was no real concern. Like, hey, is he doing something that we could all do? Maybe some people like Aaron Rodgers, who is allergic to one of the key components of the mRNA vaccine. He literally is allergic to it. If he takes it, it could be bad for him. So isn't there something those people can do? There wasn't even that. It was just mockery and shame. And it was also a very distorted understanding of the actual landscape. They thought they were CNN, and CNN was huge. CNN is the news. CNN is a gigantic corporation. They have a big building, the whole deal, giant sign. They didn't understand that this podcast is 10 times larger than them. And it was exposed during that whole thing where they just made this terrible chess move. They just ran out in the middle with their king. And that's how I found myself in the middle.